Good evening, everyone. The introduction doesn't start. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of these. What's behind? Don't know. When you see films and the driver in the car and everything just, you know, goes out and the car stops. The lights go out, the radio goes off, the engine stops. Maybe that's why, eh? Maybe that's why. I just don't know. But anyway, I'm here. I'm here. I'll stay for you lot. I don't mean you lot, as in lot, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that is Myra. Hey, Frank and everyone. Hey, Myra. Hey. Totally. Evening, Mr. Carlyle. I could do it, though. Do you know what? Give me a second. I forgot to bring my bloody drink in. I'm so parched, honestly. Hang on. Sorry about that. I really, I'm sorry. It's just completely fit. You know, the way you come into like, or you get up and or whatever, and you walk into a kitchen, or you walk into the bedroom, or you walk into you what have I come in here for? That's what I was like coming in here. I forgot something. Hello, Myra, says Tony LFC. That's nice. The outfield, good evening, Frankie and chat. That's nice. That's nice. Evening, Raw. See? The Raw back. Tony LFC and Myra Page. That's nice. At least he's there talking to one another, which is good. Do you know what? I'm absolutely pissed off, boys and girls. I really am. I don't know about you, but Vladimir Putin, he congratulated. Very nice. He was very complimentary and everything on Trump's election win and inauguration. And then as soon as he gets in, as soon as he's sworn in as POTUS, he crashes Putin. Now, his campaign was to stop wars. That was his campaign. That was his campaign. It's either he's as thick as that, where you can get more sense out of it, or he's playing a game. I don't think he's a businessman. Do you know what? People text me, you know, and I can't use this, and you know when I do this, it kills me. And I say to them, look, phone me. Don't text me, because they've got my phone number. Anyway, I said, if I was running a Christmas sweet club, I wouldn't have him running it. He hasn't a clue about the economy. He said, you know, when he said, oh, I'm going to stop this war. And do you know what his plan is? To ask Saudi Arabia to, how can I say this? To drain the oil on all the world. You know, just like bring it right down and give everyone all the oil. Right? That's what he said. He never realised that that would destroy the whole of the OPEC oil system, economy, economic-wise. He's never thought it out. He's never done. And do you think Saudi Arabia is going to do it? They're a member of BRICS now. And this is what he's afraid of. He even said Spain is in BRICS. Spain. Who's advising this man? I know he's brought neocons in, which people, people that I watch say, don't bring them in. Do not bring them in. Anyway, he surrounded himself with them again. Oh, Myra. Frank, you say Voltaire for pain. I'll look that up. I will look it up. Thank you, Myra. Thank you so much. Thank you. But it's when someone texts and I have to text back. And I don't text back, See, it's, like when I broke my neck, that's where it stems from. As you get older, it just stems from there. But anyway, so does he really think it would destroy everybody's economy, including America's? Including America's. If that, if that prince, whatever his bloody name is, agrees to that, then he's as thick as Trump. I really believed I was made up. Trump got it made up because I believed in what he was saying. Not saying that he was going to stop the war or anything. That's up to Vladimir Putin when he stops the war. When he stops. Black and white boy. Even in everyone. Tell him. Beautiful man, Franco. Thanks. Anyway, I just leave this to it, letting on to one another, which is nice, by the way. I think that's nice. That's very nice. Yeah. Well, and I'm good, lad. That's nice. And Lee Brady. Hello, Frank. How's things? Should have came out 2 minutes ago. But anyway, getting back to their Trump, he's either he's taken the same advice. He said that Putin, Russia, he's put Russia in a terrible state economically. He's only got to go to the IMF. They just upgraded. They're one of the strongest economies in the world. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. He's taking notice of these people, unfortunately, and reading the Western press, CNN. But over in Davos. Now, can any of you tell me what is Zelensky doing at the World Economic Forum? And another thing about Zelensky, did you hear what he said? He's helping Syria with money and food. He's going around to the West begging. Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, there's the red bird there. Oh, the red bird's with us. At the game tomorrow, hoping it's not too cold, or I'll be buying more Bovril. The outfielder ought to say, throw some Scott here. And the red bird, can they handle the truth, Frankie boy? No. No, I really thought Trump was going to say, I've had enough of this. All is it? And he keeps, have you noticed their press? You know, when he's appeared on television or at the White House, the Western press, the Western media, the American media keep asking about Ukraine. Why doesn't he just say? It's got nothing to do with me anymore. That was Biden. Go and ask Biden. Don't be asking me. That's not my war. And by the way, Zelensky's getting no more money. End of. So let the EU pay for it, because the EU is in turmoil if America pull out. But can they afford it? I'm not talking about the EU can afford it. They can't really afford to give what the Americans are giving. And if they pull out, we're already in a mess economically. And that von der Leyen, she's calling the whole of Europe a sovereign state. Did you know that? Did you hear that? A sovereign state. That means, the likes of all Europe, say like from Italy over to Spain and Portugal and France and Germany and Belgium and everywhere else, they're not sovereign, it's just the EU. Have you said it's gone? Everything's gone bananas. Everything has gone bananas. Everything has gone bananas over this Ukraine. What's Ukraine done for Europe? Can anyone tell me? Because it's all it boils down to is Russophobia. They've always had Russophobia ever since America started the Cold War. Did you hear what Trump said? They helped us. Oh, I like the Russians. They helped us to win the war. They helped us. 3/4 of the might of the German army were fighting the Soviets. 1/3 was fighting the Allies. And he's saying they helped us. It's just bananas. He's not asking like people who know what the score is. They know the script. They're not asking them. I follow along with the likes of Myra Page there. I follow Judge Napolitano, for example. Alex Christophery. I follow these people. They're unbelievable. Honestly, they're unbelievable. They know the score. Professor Mearsheimer, Professor Sachs. These are top quality intellects. And he's only got to ask them. He's only got to ask them what's going on in Ukraine. Who's winning? It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I've seen footage of people getting dragged off the streets to get to the front line. They're given a gun, a uniform, 2 weeks running around to get fit and sent to the front line. These people, it's shocking. In Ukraine, that is. But as I said, I really believe Trump would just say enough's enough of this. I just don't. I can't get my head around it. Unless it's a joke, unless he's playing a game. He can't play it. Can anyone come along with me and just say, something like the Anfield Road there? Frankie, what is the end game for Ukraine? This country's promised 300 million, gives weapons for nothing. We're not Ukraine. We're not Ukraine or footing the bill. Yeah, we're not you. That's why I said before. What's Ukraine in its entirety ever done for us? You could say, well, what's Russia done for us? Someone said that. What's Russia done for us? Shall I tell you what they've done for us? They kept energy prices down. That's what they've done for us. For years. For years, they kept prices down. That's what they've done for us. They won the war. The Soviet people won the war. The Soviet soldiers. Marshal Zhukov is one of my greatest of all 5 military leaders. Marshal Zhukov. Incredible man. He sacrificed the country. I just don't know anymore. I really don't. People, I don't know whether they just take or what. Well, I know Americans, their history is absolutely horrendous. Their history programs, horrendous. They haven't a clue. Haven't a clue. So they know nothing. And Lee says, I seen that video, Frank, of him talking about Putin and about Ukraine, the Ukraine war, etc. It's nuts. Did my, yeah, they were there. What the fuck? What? I'm lost for words, honestly. I'm lost for words. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Beckham. Honestly, what kind of fucking show? What kind of show? I can't show anything. There's more sense in that empty tissue packet. That's fucking Beckham with his tattoo. Oh, come on. Myra says it's criminal that we, the West, steal frozen assets. It's shocking. It's shocking. And people don't realise, like the global South, they've got money invested in Europe. And I'm talking billions. And they're going to go, hang on a minute. If we do something, they'll sanction us. They can sanction us and take our money. It's ridiculous. No one knows. Nobody there. They're just relying too much on. Really, they're just relying too much on America. They're just relying too much on them. And America, every fucking war that's going on, they've started. This Fico, the Slovakian president said they're trying to take over my country, the EU, von der Leyen. So there'll be colour revolutions there, American backed, obviously. They're doing it in Georgia. They're trying to do it in Georgia. Albeit that there's a legitimate government in who'll be doing it there. What is this? Is this democracy? Is this the democracy you want? Just because these people say we're not giving we don't want to get involved in this war about Ukraine, we don't want nothing to do with it. You've got Romania, a fella by the name of Georgescu, 78% of the vote he got, and the fucking EU cancelled the election. They can't. What fucking right do they have to cancel an election, a democratic election, where people, you and I or whatever, just go and vote for a person? Remember they tried to blame TikTok with Russian influence and Chinese influence? It's absolutely ridiculous. Fucking hell. But you're right there. You're right there about the West Steel of frozen asset. It's shocking. It really is. Richard's on away from Belfast. He says, even a Frank, evening, my favourite Liverpool. It's incredible. So, evening, Richard. It's nice. The Anfield says that became will do anything for a night. That Beckham, that is, isn't it? Yeah, Beckham will do anything. Richard, this is about politics, not about Man United, honestly. It's about individuals. That Beckham will do anything for a night out. And Neville doesn't talk about Arab Spring no more since he took that Qatar money, a Labour moron again. Gary Neville, yeah. I don't want to talk football, mate. I really don't. No football. Please, no football. This is not football. Yeah, look, see, I'm not talking football. Redbeard says, what the F was money, Matt? What the F was money, Matt Beckham doing at the WEF? Talking about helping kids around, but never mentioned the graping of our many, many thousands. Oh, Jesus. The raping, yes, the graping of thousands of white kids. Always knew Beckham was fake as. I was going to go on to that, to be honest, talking about that lad who just got 52 years. And did you notice that woman who was unfortunately murdered in Plymouth? As soon as she was murdered, you seen a photograph of everything of the fella. He put us up. If anyone's seen it. But they wouldn't put a photograph up with that fella. And when they did finally, after a month, put a photograph up, it was a little schoolboy photo image. Fucking hell. I'll tell you who's winning the war in Ukraine. The money man, says Richard Dawkins. I tell you who's winning the war flat out. Russia. They're annihilating the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians have lost 1 million men. a million. And that's not counting the wounded. Think about it. I'm not talking about football. Or I'll just finish now. Honestly. I'll be talking about football tomorrow after the game, post-match. I talked about it last night. I'll be talking, most probably you're talking in the morning because I'm giving that the film and TV in the morning. Got some good films still for you to watch, by the way. Lee Brady says, our country is run by mugs, Frank. Give to all these countries and we won't get nothing back, probably not even a thank you. No, we don't get thank yous. No, we don't. I keep emphasizing this, and people, I've never heard one person, when I've said this, come back and said, you're right there, Frank. There are 5.2 million children below the poverty line in this country. And Starmer has pledged millions to Ukraine every year. Can you get your head around that? I can't. I can't get my head around that. Not only that, but this is laughable, This is laughable. He said to Zelensky, tell you what we'll do, we'll send our navy into the Black Sea and help you out. Think about that, what he said. Now, let me tell you something. In the Black Sea, Russia has nuclear submarines below the surface and nuclear battleships. Nuclear. And Starmer wants to send our navy over there, and they can't stop fucking dinghies crossing the channel. It's a Benny Hill fucking team. It's a Benny Hill team. You could see Starmer standing on the deck of a ship like that, and Benny Hill in the sailor's uniform, what is that over there? Doing that, running after girls, like that. That's what it is. It's a fucking joke. That's who's running the country. Our country. But you can't just blame Starmer. You've got to go back at 14 years of Tory rule. When Cameron came in. And that's how messed up the Tories were with all the prime ministers they had. No, there's no vodka in there. There's only orange juice. It's ridiculous. Remember when Blair got in 97? I was like that. This is it. And he did great, I'm being honest with you. But within 5 years of him coming in, or 6, his legacy was gone. He would have gone down as one of the greatest prime ministers, believe that. But you tell me what his legacy was. That destroyed everything about him. Young Fyodor says Ukrainian soldier kept the doors guarded in Nazi prison and concentration camps. These are not people of history that we should easily give a damn about. We didn't care about Georgia when Putin came. Okay, here's what it is. Has anybody ever heard of Stepan Bandera? Has anybody ever heard of? No? Let me know there. Just say yes or no. Because the Ukrainians celebrate his birthday every year. Every year they celebrate his birthday. They have streets and avenues and everything named after him. They have buildings named after him. Can anybody tell me who Stepan Bandera was and what he did? Does anybody know what the Azovs are in the Ukrainian, the battalions, the Azov brigades? Can anybody tell me what they are? Christopher, hi Frank, and everyone. Ukraine has a lot of rare minerals. Yeah, well, not Lindsey Graham. Has anybody heard of him? Lindsey Graham? He let it slip a month or two. No, it was only last month. And he went, they've got lithium there. 14 trillion worth of dollars of lithium. We want it. We cannot afford to let the Russians have it. And I shouted at the telly, sitting over here. I went, Lindsay, they fucking got it. They've captured Donbass. That's where they've got. That's what they've got, the Russians. They've got wheat fields, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Feeds the world. Feeds the world. Russia have got it now. Yeah, look, it's the greatest cop out in the world. It's young Callum. And he says, what's Davos? I love that slat. Love him. The unfair Christopher, the only minerals that are rare in these British is these British governments time and time again. Yeah, they're the rare minerals. Did you know that? You know the fisheries. Now, here's something you may or may not know. You know that we've sanctioned Russia. You know that too. Do you know that Russia allowed British fishing fleets into the Baltic? Did you know that? Into their waters to fish. We we still get in there to fish, and it's only through Russia allowing it. Just imagine if they stopped. No more fucking fishing ships for you. And every leader that flies either from America or anywhere in Europe, everywhere in Europe has to get permission of Russia. Do you know that? Flying, just in case. Can we fly there? Yeah, okay, you're all right. I'm confused that we fought the Nazis. That sums everything up. Mine sums every. I'm confused that we fought the Nazis in World War II. Now we're giving the money to the Nazis in Ukraine. Exactly. Oh dear, that's a brilliant, brilliant. Gary the Rigby, even a Frank and everybody. And Richard says we should be using Ukraine money to feed. Yes, I'm fucking bringing these. I could show you my bill. It's ridiculous. Jesus. Mary Stan says, von der Leyen leading the EU will always back USA and NATO, but Western people are as much to blame. 4 decades of BS, yes. Funding corrupt Kia, yes. Funding. It was even in all the American press in 2018. Look, I'll tell you something. Now, you might think, oh, I can tell you something. I was going to do an ambition of mine. The places I had to go to. Now, this was all setting up in 2013. The places I had to go to was New York, Ellis Island, Dublin. Obviously, Liverpool was the main port, right? Naples, and Odessa. So that was all planned. Did I do it next year? So by the time the following year came, they said, no, we'll leave it till next year now. I said, okay, 2050, it didn't bother me. So I was made up. And then when they got hold of me and said, listen, we're ready to go. Let's get plans and everything else. Where are we going first? Are we going to that place in Russia, they said. I said, no. I said, there's a civil war going on. And he said, what do you mean? I said, you're talking about Odessa? He said, yeah. I said, no, there's a civil war. I said, what kind of a civil war? I said, a war that we can't venture into. So we've got to go there and film there. Now you're asking why? What did you want to go there for? If you were doing this, I was talking about 3 groups of people coming to Liverpool to get to America. They were the Jews, Russian Jews. And you'll be surprised how many Russian Jews actually came in. Very surprised and stayed. And even anglicised their names, by the way. Anglicised their names. So they started to come in the 1880s. And the port was Odessa, which is now a part of Ukraine, but it won't be for long because the Russians will take it. Definitely and landlock Ukraine. So it'll be useless to anybody if they don't have a port. So, and he said, well, can we take pictures? I said, no. I said, we have to go there. And one fella said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll go to some other place that looks like Odessa. And when he started to talk like that, I said, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll go down to Shanghai and film there, the waterfront there, and pretend it's Liverpool. Shall we do that? I said, what do you mean? I said, I'll leave it. I said, just leave it. And that really annoyed me. And that's why I didn't fulfill this ambition. And it would have been great to film the Italians, the Russians, well, the Jews, that's what I should say, and the Irish, and get over from here over to Ellis Island. It would have been great because it would have been talking from Liverpool, Napoli, Dublin, and Odessa. This is where they were, if you know what I mean, on the dock side. Couldn't do it. So I know about it. Even then, what was going on, and no one was helping. So you're right there, Mary. 4 decades of BS, funds in corrupt Kiev while 300k homeless in the UK and back Israel genocide of Gaza kids. it's just shocking, Mary. Lee Brady says, gutted to death, the penalty not only abolished as recent as the death penalty, as 1998 by Parliament. Wish it was still available for people like that scumbag that only got 52 years, no remorse, and was messing about in the dock playing games. Yeah. You see, I've been listening to loads, and there's old stories coming out. What you've got to be careful of is the likes of the blaming Starmer for allowing his parents in the country, and they were blaming his dad for being part of the genocide in Rwanda. Now, there's nothing clarified about that. I've found no evidence of it. But this lad, you see, look, I think his dad had known that he was radicalised. He may have just let him go on the computer or do whatever. So, he's got all this paraphernalia and everything about radicalisation because he had booklets on it. He had everything. So his dad must have allowed him to do that. And then when the lad started to, become a bit of violence, shall we say. Look, it's no use. What did the police say when his dad phones up and said, listen, he's behaving properly. He's always he likes knives, and the police said, lock away your knives. Now, there's two ways to look at that. There's two ways to look at that. One, if it'll be my son, and I said, listen, he's fucking going out with knives and everything, what would have happened? I'll let you figure that out. But this dad, who said, my son's knives, hide them away. Do you see where I'm coming from there? I can't say too fucking much, to be honest. The score. Humphrey Ross says, Redbird, Beckham is a piece of crap. He was a UNICEF ambassador, then went and worked for Qatar to improve their was paid 35 million for a month's work. The thing is, there isn't a wrath of God. Think about that, 35 million. Look, I think who said it? I think it was Richard Dawkins said the people who are making money, people who make wars, and that's right. And it's all these military complexes that make big bombs and planes and boats and whatever. All the weapons, all the tech. Did you hear what Trump said? Listen to it today. It's hilarious. He was being interviewed, and they said, well, what about them Russians? They've got these ballistic missiles that can't be taken down. Did you hear what he said? He said, yeah, they were stolen from America. They were stolen from America. Come on. Does anyone tell him about Tereshnik? the weapon initially. People need to question the Western media. Lies sponsored by the USA and Starmer and Co. are no better than Tories. Even the sponsors of Liverpool Football Club that we stand there, with the big sponsors across there, what they're up to, even today. And that's what makes me laugh when if someone's coming in, we don't want any oil money. I just laugh at them because they haven't a fucking clue. Good night, Frank and Co. We'll tune in tomorrow for the TV prog. Ciao. Ciao. Ciao, amica mio. Amica mio. Starmer and that government have got to go. I never voted Labour. That's for the first for our family. But they are not Labour of Union. Past. They may have be called immigrant. Well, I think I told you whether it was on any pod that I did. It was the first time since I was 18 years of age not to vote in the general election. Labour. I've always voted Labour. I'm a Labour man, like you. Always voted. It's terrible. The days of Harold Wilson must go. And Richard Dawkins. Frank, let's face it, Starmer is a Tory. They're also, I forget who said it, and I'm going back years ago. And I mean years ago. And someone was, who was it? I forget who it was. I'll tell you who it was. It was like black and white telly. And I seen it a few years ago, it just came up to show them, and he was talking. And he said, in the future, there'll only be one party. And that will be neoconservatism. What did he say? Neoconservatism. And do you know who that was? Hugh Gaitskell. I think it was it. Hugh Gaitskell. Allow for freedom of movement and invading Iraq. Does anybody believe that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction? What was that? I asked you a question, didn't I, before? And the Anfield Roar says no. Richard Dawkins says yes. Myra says yes. Slightly know the name, but no, the Bandera. The Bandera. I don't know what. Has anyone mentioned them? Yeah, you have. See, what he was a SS officer, and he had 400,000 Jews shot with his brigade, and the brigades, the Azov brigades, are named after him. And they're in, like the way we have, like brigades named after famous battles and everything, even squares, I grew up in Jerry Gardens and like down Scotty Road there, there was Fontenoy Gardens, so they're like battles, named after battles, famous battles. Albeit we lost the Fontenoy one, the Battle of Fontenoy, lost it. That was named after. Anyway, that's by the by. And these were Nazis. And they still, as I said before, they still celebrate his birthday. They celebrate his birthday. And I'm talking big bonfire, a big bonfire. And they've got priests of the Orthodox Church there, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church there, celebrating with them. Saying it like a mass or service, whatever they are. Stefan Bandera, Nazi. That's who the Azovs are named after. They're carrying on with the thing. Try and look at the flag. Do you know what? I haven't got a pen in here. I would have drew it. Look at the Z. Right, just look at the other way. Just look at the Z. Right, the way it was twisted. And all you've got to do is just put two lines. Do you know the way the Z is like that, isn't it? Hang on, like that. That's the Z. Like that, like that, like that. With just two lines in the one that's going down to connect. Two lines. That's there. See, they can't have the Nazi flag. They can't have it. But they have it like that. That's the symbol. It's a Nazi symbol. And they have the SS thing, don't they? On the tanks. And as Myra said, I'm confused. We were fighting the Nazis, and now we're more saying over there giving them money to the most corrupt. Yeah, I meant to say that before. Thank you, Myra. I meant to say that before. In 2018, all the Western press was saying how corrupt Ukraine was. The most corrupt country in Europe. That's what they were saying. Now it's the most corrupt country on the planet. Where's all that money gone? Why did Biden give loads of pardons, even to his own family? Loads of them. If I was Trump, I'd call, I'd make sure that I'd know every bank that Biden, Hunter Biden, and the rest of them, even that Zelensky, I'd get him and say, where did you get the money to buy a $35 million fucking mansion? He's one of the lowest paid annually in Europe as a president. He's a defunct president. He shouldn't be leader. Where did you get that money? And if it was the Italians, I would say, where did you get this fucking money to buy this fucking big tent? He's bought loads. He's bought houses in Mayfair, London, talking about. Paris. So how? Where's he getting the money from? The unfair SS. I thought it was something like that. Richard talking. Richard says they're a bunch of nasty thugs. You wouldn't coke them. You should all be up and walk around what I've listened to and everything. What I've seen, the footage is horrible. They went in a place called Bucha in the Donbass area 2 years ago now. And they slaughtered the population. the civilians, just to slaughter them. And they blamed Russia. They blamed Russia. The Russian soldiers. And the Russian soldiers had left days before. But they didn't realise that there was a couple of witnesses left. It's shocking what they did. Executing people, just shooting them in the head. Does anybody ever remember any film when the SMO started? And all of a sudden you've seen people. It's the first time I started, oh, fucking hell. And you see, especially fellas, tied to lampposts by cling film wrapped around. Anybody ever remember that? And people just going up to them, fuck off, no, slapping them across the face. Does anybody ever remember that? And then all of a sudden, you know, they left them there for days. Fucking left them there. And then went and just put right around their head. Anybody remember that? Because I fucking do. They were the Ukrainians. Belarus, also a friend of Russia, is known to as the, well, that woman, that phony woman who tried to cause the colour revolution and she got thrown out and living in Germany. She was at Davos and she was giving a fucking speech. We've got to take Belarus. There's no chance of that happening. Belarus, no chance. Not with Poroshenko. Yeah, so Belarus, also a friend of Russia, is known as the breadbasket of the Soviet Empire. So Russia are going after infrastructure and food provision of Europe. Once they get it, yeah, they control a lot. Yes. Yes. And the Anfield says, I have no doubt, saying to Richard about a bunch of Nazi thugs. The Anfield. Frankie, how come governments like Welsh Assembly get a measly 35 million to invest in their health care system, and this government calls us heroic, yet they have nothing of given to you 300 million? What's going on? Of course. Of course. Of course. That's what I mean. As I said, about 5.2 million children below the poverty. People are going, listen, I still know people in education. And it's shocking. It's shocking. But you know what? I was going, I went on something. Let me try and get it up for you. And bear with me. Now, you know these people who haven't a fucking clue. I was on something, and someone mentioned something. This is about, you know, the Ukraine-Russia conflict, and you were having a go at Russia. Now listen to this. I photoshopped this. You won't be able to see it, but anyway, I photoshopped it. Right, and I'll read you it out. It says this: Eastern Europe. Now, as you know, I'm a PhD historian, right? I do know, I know a fair bit about, see, I go back to the Romans, I'm being honest. I go back to the Russian Revolution, not the Russian, the French Revolution. I talk about Napoleon, things like that, like the English Civil War. So I'm giving you what I'm specialised in, the First World War, and things like that. But I do know about the 20th century. These are the 1900s, yeah. Get onto this. And it says, Eastern Europe. This is a comment by someone. Eastern Europe. A little ignorance and a little fear, and sky is the limit. It's no accident that the two biggest conflicts of the 20th century started in Eastern Europe. And you know what? I couldn't get it up on my phone. And you know me and that, the way it is. Because I was going to ask him, elaborate, what conflicts in the 20th century in Eastern Europe. I'm still trying to figure out. Still trying to figure out. Fucking ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. And these are the type of things that I look at and I'm going, can you any of you tell me in the 20th century, the 1900s, where conflict started? And what I thought is the Soviet Union, they just say Russia, going into Germany and winning the war, but you know that was wrong for them to win the war. They fucking Trump said they helped us to win the war. Fucking hilarious. Jesus. Just looking for something else. No. I thought I had something else in the end. Lee Brady, imagine how much the 300 million energy to Ukraine would help people in this country. Yes. Homeless, mental health, NHS funding for the elderly, for the heating allowance that got stopped. Great one, that. Great one. And there's also, what I wanted to try and find on there, but I can't get it, is what someone said. I was watching some today and I photoshopped it again. And but there was loads of comments. And it was about Trump. I said, oh, made up. Oh, we made up that Trump. Got it. Oh, we made, help him, help us. Donald, help us. Have they seen? They haven't fucking seen America, the state of it. Has anybody seen what California's like? And I'm not talking about the fires either. Before the fires, has anybody seen, the great Nevadan city of Las Vegas? Has anybody seen that lately? Has anybody seen what's happening around Florida? These are all the great. Has anybody ever seen what's up? After the, there was a massive hurricane in 2004, 2005 called Katrina that hit New Orleans. And I always remember it. It was shocking. And you see people who were homeless. And mostly were black people. Black family were homeless. And W. Bush said, We're going to help them. We're going to build. They're still fucking homeless. And, people are expecting to be out with the fires. And they haven't a laugh. They're expecting every homeless. There's loads of homeless in America. There's gangs coming from South America taking over apartments. Taking over, and Biden allowed them in. I only had eaten on a few hours in that bad snow, ice weather, Frank. They wanted 145 quid. I was shocked. Probably nothing compared to our others. Why so much when people are already struggling? I paid the 45 and told them they will have to wait for the rest. I'll tell you when I'm paying it. I'll tell you when I'm paying it, you don't mind. You tell me. A lot, as long as you contribute. They can't moan, but we'll add all late fees to it. And they will get you there £145 back. They will get that. Albeit that, obviously you'd be paying other bills besides. There shouldn't be a fee charges at the moment. It's not. Of course there shouldn't be. Of course there shouldn't. When I moved in here, there was an outstanding. I had to fucking pay it to get See, I'm in all electric here. Been here quite a few years now, but I had to pay that bill. I said, I haven't used any. He said, you must have used it because, you get the decorated and that. I said, yeah. I said, I've got to have light. You used it. Fuck off. Anyway, the unfair girl. If this government stopped our foreign aid package, we could afford to pay the kids in this country starving. Yes. And also build some affordable, decent home for all those people now. Yes. The country stinks. Yes. There's a few things, I'm being honest, that frighten me actually. But no matter what you say, there's labels for you. There's labels. All the isms comes out. All the isms. And you go, well, what can I fucking say? What can I do? All the isms. I always remember a fella it was a Chowdhury. And he speeches of 8. Remember a few years ago, speeches of 8. And he went to jail for it, then came out again. So now I don't know whether he's back in jail for hate speech, which is good. I think it was him or some other fella, Abu. Remember the fella with the one hand, he has a hook for the other, eye patch. Remember him? I think he's in jail in America. And I don't know whether it was him or this child who said, I want to see an Islamic flag flying over number 10. Now, I could get called a racist for saying that. Or Turk. See, it's so easy to be targeted today. It really is. So easy. You can't say nothing, or it's hate speech. It's hate speech. That's why I never went too much on about that lad with his 52-year sentence. But what I could say is that the show, the lady, unfortunately was stabbed to death by some fucking lunatic in Plymouth. But they says his name right away and a picture of him. You see the police getting him, going for him and arresting him. And you see a picture of him. See what I mean? But they wouldn't show. You could go on and on. You could go on about gangs. You can. Frank don't mean to be harsh here, but Somalian people make up 67% of social housing in this country. There comes a point, and we're beyond it to say that's enough. Claiming asylum has gone mad, but it hasn't gone mad for certain people. It hasn't. It's gone mad for us. Colin Blackshaw. Good evening, Frank. Good evening, Colin. The unfair rule. None of these people have principles anymore. It's becoming smaller and smaller. Greed is the new principle. All these countries and individuals, all greed. Why one individual having 75 billion is sick. Point says, in that Davos, you had these people saying about, we'll have no cash in the future. And AI is coming in. They're taking over. AI. They're taking over all the work. People will be out of work. You can see it in supermarkets. You can see it there. Unfortunately, I go to the tills simply because I want to see a girl sitting there getting a wage. I don't want to go to a till where you just do this, and pay with your card or whatever. I don't want to fucking do that. I want to go to see a girl working for a wage. She could be a young mother. It's wrong, but this is the way it's going. You've only, I have to use it. I do when I need cash. I have to go to the ATM, and that's where the banking system. You won't be able to go into a bank anymore. You'll be just using all that and going online, on your computer or whatever. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. AI, artificial intelligence. Why do you think Trump wants all this Bitcoin and everything else? I'm sick of this country. The invasion is real, says the Red Bear. Look, I don't think I'll get into trouble for this because I'm just speaking. About 3 years ago, or it could be less, I don't know. I was watching the news, and I seen this young lad. Now, I know I can sell gear. I can show you a couple of coats I've got. Armani, leather ones. I can show you. I go to the wardrobe, just say hello. Long ones, right? So I know coats and styles and everything else. Now get onto this. I was sitting there like that watching this, and there was this young fella, and he has a pure white t-shirt and this black leather coat, and it was more or less new. And I knew exactly what kind of make it was. And it was Giorgio Armani. I knew it. Right? And then, then it pans out from him. And you see he's got these lovely jeans, a pair of trainees, expensive trainees, by the way. Everything, he was all immaculate. this fella. And what got me, he said, I've got to get to Leeds and I need money to get to Leeds. But, you know, the governments are not giving me this money. And he'd been here 3 days. He said, I've got to get to Leeds. And the government won't give me the money. They're only giving me, I think it was a voucher or something, or I don't know, to see his family. He said, so I have to keep in touch with them on his phone. Fucking brand new phone, big one like that. And I went, thank God I'm sitting there with an Armani thing. He's asking for money. He's been here 3 days. How? How was he coming to the country for 3 days? And how did he got him? You know, to be interviewed. And, you know, it was random because it was outside, if you know what I mean. Fucking girl. And Myra says, yeah. And Theodore, we here have the same problem with Somalian and Nigerians. Can't say that, but you're right. And they call him Blank Shaw. Enoch Powell. Yeah. Yeah. And the unfair law says, by the page, I bet you do. What can be done? They have a pregnancy rate out of control. The burden passes to other parts of Africa or now desperation to Europe. Maybe a restriction on babies. Listen, I said this, you heard me saying it before. America has a plan, and that was 7 countries, to go into 7 countries and destabilize them. And those 7 countries were all in the Middle East, and they've done it. But the point is, go into a couple of African countries too. Go into there, destabilize those countries. The Middle East will be destabilized. They'll be war-torn. So what do the people do? They're on the march, aren't they? They're on the march. And that's what happens in the Middle East. Destabilize the Middle East. Where did they all come up from? When they flood Europe. And it was to destabilize Europe. And that's what they've done with a great success. There you have it. Try to do it in China, you know. Do you know, you might think, oh, go away, Frank. I'm telling you. Do you ever remember just a couple of years ago and the student colour revolution in Hong Kong? Remember that? And the Chinese just what they saying, the Chinese, Xi Jinping was saying, you better behave yourself, stop it. Stop it. But they carried on and on and on. They cracked down on it, they had to. Because what they were showing, these Chinese are bad, look at them, they're brilliant. Fucking hell, you may go to jail here, you know, if you protest or say anything. It was the CIA. The CIA behind it all. See, it's what you have. The CIA. The wonderful CIA. And that's who kicked it all off in Ukraine in 2014 with the Maidan overthrow of a legitimate government in Ukraine. It was shocking. People were killed. It was led by the CIA and a woman by the name of Victoria Nuland. Even that senator, horrible Russophobe, John McCain, he was there. Made up, delighted. That happened. 40 people were burnt alive by those Azovs. Burnt alive in the building. 40 of them. Fucking shocking. No weapons. All a big lie. That's the weapons of mass destruction. Yes. Yes. Myra says, Anfield, here it is more about criminal activities. Yeah, that's been going on a few years, Myra, hasn't it, really? But you've got criminal activities everywhere in this country as well. And have you noticed the films that are shown, you know, like, you know, it went from the mafia and it's gone now to the Russian mobs because they're at war with, they're at a proxy war with all the Russian. John Wick, when you got to look at John Wick, fighting the Russian mob. Trigger, oh Trigger, never seen you before, fella. These politicians all piss in the same pots. Sheer Starmer is a Tory boy in a red tie. Would never vote for a politician who's being knighted, in brackets, bought, yes, by the one world order. That's what it is, the one world order. I always remember George the Bush man, the whack man, saying about the new world order. And his son carried it on. I'm talking about Bush Senior, head of the CIA, then became president, and a stupid son who hasn't a clue. Some of them are thick, you know. Some US presidents. And war hawks. You see, the Democratic Party in America was for you and me, working class. Then all of a sudden it changed. Like the Bushes were Republicans, but you're expecting Obama, a black man, to do wonders. Fucking war hawk him. He caused the death of Gaddafi. Yeah. He caused the death of Muammar Gaddafi. Gaddafi was fantastic to his people, to the contrary of what the Western press was saying. Bashar Assad, remember the barrel bombs? They blamed him for it. And there wasn't even any fucking barrel bombs thing. It was a load of bollocks. Albeit they were dropped. And they got all these kids, got freezing cold water, doing this to the kids, just getting them off the fucking street, saying that these are kids are there, you know, for the news. The kids were screaming and rubbing their eyes and everything. Wouldn't you? With a load of fucking freezing water and getting covered in water. It was shocking what they did. It was fake. It was all fake, and they were blaming Bashar Assad. It was shocking what they did. And this is the propaganda. This is how they cause all this. Hans Blix, when he went to Iraq as a weapons inspector, the chief, and a fellow named Scott Ritter, an American, they said, there's nothing here. They've got none. They went in, fucking stop them, they said. Of course there is. And if anyone's ever seen, it's a cracking interview, but it's in black and white. What I see of Joe Biden when he was a senator, and he was more or less interrogating Scott Ritter. It was shocking what they did. They humiliated Scott Ritter. He did. It's not even in your pay grade, he said to it. Horrible. And for Myra Page, oh, definitely. In this country, it's the same thing. The obvious to me, and as to you, we never had these problems before asylum incoming. I can understand humans wanting better lives. But the thing is our country our own anymore? That's a question. Is Britain anymore? I don't like people coming out and saying, let's put the grape back into Britain. The fucking grape went years ago. And he carries on by saying, but it's never appreciated. No. It is only for branches of asylum citizens to burden with, I'm sorry, to be burdens on the resources is criminality. Yes, and it is criminal. Lee Brady says, isn't the Hitler bunker in Berlin all built on top of now? Or is it part of a car park? I bet loads of archaeologists would want to dig that up to see what's left of the tunnels, etc. But I don't think modern Germany like to associate it all with Nazi. There's fucking neo-Nazis there, mate. I know, I experienced them. There's loads of them. On the little Zeke Islands. Loads of them. I experienced them. Zelensky was a comedian and he's laughing all the way to the bank with our money, says Richard. Do you know what his act was? No disrespect to the lovely Myra. He used to play the piano with his penis. That was a speciality act. It's true that. He's a second-rate comedian and actor. Couldn't act the goat. The Redbird says, with the cousin marriages, they leave their deformed and mentally ill babies at the hospital for the state to look after them, costing us billions. That's besides the billions spent on benefits and freebies. Listen, you've heard me say, haven't you, that I can't hardly walk, right? And I said tonight a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to the hospital. I've been waiting for it just over 2.5 years. Finally, my appointment came through. And I went up and they said, yeah, you're an urgent case. Still waiting, to go up again and get something done for me. Know what I mean? Shocking, isn't it? Look, I've always worked, right? And I had to go to the dentist. So I went to the dentist 2 years ago. Went to the dentist, they done what they had to do. One bill came in, I had to pay it there and then. It was 660 quid. Then I had to go again, and then I had to pay another bill of 80 quid. That's 660 and 80. And I know for a fact that a couple of people went in and had treatment done for nothing. The same dentist. So there's your benefits and freebies. My view on asylum seeker or work immigration is that they get old too. So the whole philosophy of British people have a growing age population, so we need the people for other countries to work is a load of, yes, nonsense, a load of garbage. Trigger one says, Trigger. That sounds like a lad's stag night, Frank. Oh, what? What is it? The unfair Richard Dawkins, he's a billionaire out of all this. He'll be a billionaire out of all this. Do you mean Zelensky? He's got fucking billions now. He's got it. He's got it. His wife a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago or something like that, I heard, bought a car, whatever it was. Must have been a vintage one or something, you know, one of these things, for $4.2 million. His wife. And all that woman did was the dishes. If you know what I mean. Okay. Richard says, Bastille Day, been there for it twice. Great day. I was sitting there once, not on Bastille Day. I was playing boo with this old fella. I had black hair then. I'm recognisable now. I was sitting there and he said, call me over. And he told me about the war. What he was doing, he was like a resistance fella, you know, in the war. That's when I was down in France. Played boo, and I got it right to the thing, you know, the spike. He said, have you played this before? I said, no, I haven't. Still have a catty, pink. You know what catties are, don't we, boys? Scousers. Richard Dawkins says the Anfield, like all good dictators, they all know how to go cap in hand to soft sells USA or England or whoever for a handout. It's all corrupt. It all goes back. These big politicians in Europe, do you think that they get nothing out of this? Of their own Sharia law courts, why is this allowed in the not so Great Britain? Yes, Sharia law, but they want that as law all over the country. You know the way we've got British, oh, that's not English law or the British law. They want the Sharia law to take over the British law. That's, you know, I'm not just saying that. Think about that. Freedom journey. Wasn't World War One started in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Frank? Yeah. What it was the assassination, really, of Archduke Ferdinand and his wife Sophie in Sarajevo. And the Austrians went mad. So they declared war. They went like that, well, hang on a minute, you know. But the Germans, they pushed the Austrians into starting the war. So once they started the war, the British, this country, as you know, the last two World Wars, well, we declared war on Germany twice. In the Second World War, Hitler asked Harry Truman to carry on at the end of the war, to carry on into Russia. And Harry Truman was to say, are you fucking kidding? See what they just done? Churchill wanted to go on. We've been Russophobes for years. You know, we go back to the 1854 and the Crimean War when we were fighting the Russians. Did you know that the Crimean War would never have been heard of only for Alfred Lord Tennyson and the Charge of the Light Brigade, a little poem. He read a little column like that about In the Thunder, which later became the Times. Little column like that he read. And he went, oh, I'm going to write. And he wrote a poem. Guns to the left of them, guns to the right of them. Into the valley road the 600. And without that, you would never have heard of the Crimean Charge of the Light Brigade. And here in Liverpool, in St. Peter's, up in what is it? I always call it, I forget the name of this fucking street, you know. I shouldn't be like that. But there's a cemetery there, St. Peter's. Do you know if you go up Brownlow Hill, and you go right along, you pass the Albert and Payne Museum to your left and the cathedral on your right, you know, but you keep going. You see a church at the top. Well, that's St. Peter's. And if you go up there, you go into a cemetery, you'll find a lad who was one of the victims of the Charge of the Light Brigade, one of the 600. Forget his name, unfortunately. So you're right there, Freedom Journey. Spot on, lad. Listen, anyone who's on here, you know, and you've never subscribed, can you do us a favour and subscribe, please? You know, just to get me algorithm. Every time I look at the subscribe, it keeps fucking dropping. It keeps dropping. And press the likes as well. The Anfield says China are the ones to keep an eye on, and India and Saudi are all became richer while we all became poorer. We've been selling these countries weapons, and yet we're the first to cry out. Point is, it's the military complex that's making all the money, even today, by giving all the arms and everything else to Ukraine. Why do you think we sell tanks? And who makes them? See ya. They're making the money. They're making the money. And the Anfield Law, when those countries do something wrong, we literally are the biggest hypocrites in the world. What has become of Great Britain now? It's a laughingstock. No army, no navy, no power except banking. Yes. Look, there's only one fucking place in this country, the whole of the UK, the whole of the UK, that's okay. And that's the City of London. That's all around Canary Wharf. Just there. They all live there. I think it's 30% of Londoners are proper Londoners. I'll leave it like that. 30%. The rest are not proper Londoners. I'll leave it at that. Can't say too much, you see. While we're having a great chat, don't forget to get. Oh, thank you. Huge like, a huge like. Thank you. Appreciate that. The Amphi, thanks, Red Bears. Thank you. The Amphi, oh my baby, gonna set my soul, gonna set my soul on fire. Yeah, yeah. That's what I mentioned it before. The fucking homeless there is unbelievable, and the drugs. You know, they say like Colombia, oh, the greatest, that's all the drugs there. Why do you think, yeah, get onto this. There's something to put your mind to this. Like, all prayer, I'm going to stop these drugs. Even Trump was saying, God, these drugs, they're all coming in. It's a fucking black market. Did you know that? It's a black market to the American economy. Not only that, think about this. How long were they in Afghanistan? What kind of bombs do they have, the Americans? The Americans, like if you've got a big field and you planted tobacco and that, it's all grew and all fucking great. Because I'd sell the tobacco then to whoever makes cigarettes or whatever. Well, you can't use that land ever again. Do you know that? To grow tobacco. That's the way it was. Right? I can go back to the first Virginians when Powhatan, Chief Powhatan, seeing all these, these fully white men and fully dressed. And what the fuck are you? And they wanted them to go and fish and everything and hunt for them until Powhatan went, oh, fuck off. Start fishing yourself and hunting. So, now Powhatan's daughter was named Pocahontas. Now, Hollywood, they had to marry a fella named John Smith. No, they didn't. They had to marry John Smith, one of my heroes, by the way, John Smith, great fella. And they had to marry him because he was such a great adventurer. What a man. Not that they knew fuck all about him, to be honest, but they might have just thought, oh, he's done well there. But I know about him, you see. But anyway, she never married John Smith. She marries a fella named John Walton. He was a bland sort of fella. He just grew tobacco. And that became the very first interracial marriage on the planet. Was between Pocahontas and John Walton. Because all this John Walton, we went to Powhatan. I said, listen, John, can you have some land, mate? And he went, oh, no, you'll have to buy it. Oh, come on, He said, can I marry your daughter? So he married his daughter, Pocahontas, and he gave a big dowry of all loads of fucking land so he could grow his tobacco. I'm glad you know that now. So do you remember, you ever watched that little animation? It wasn't John Smith she married. It was John Walton. Frankenstein cold weather, it's extremely hot here. Oh yes, South Africa, fucking roasting down there. Here, Myra, I'm freezing. Myra, Frank, it's please. Honestly. I've got my thermal socks on. I've got thermal socks on. Someone said to me, do you want to lay a pair of thermal socks? I said, oh, no, you're all right. I didn't know what they were, you know. I said, thermal socks? I said, and I thought that you went, you know, like ordinary socks, you go out. And anyway, she brought me, this woman, lovely lady. I went, yeah, big thick things. I could take one off. I could feet and freeze up. Yeah, let's see if I can. Show you what I mean. The thermal socks. It's dead warm, you know, they're good. I don't know where she got them from. Never asked her. I felt terrible taking them off her. Thermal then. Like a boot. Big feet. Keep my little peggies warm anyway. Yeah, I've got my pajamas on. Can't say there. Yeah, look, there's my pajamas on. Put my pajamas on. Because what's the use? That was, you know, like the women used to say. I mean, I'm only in my pajamas. And I used to tell her, what the fuck are you in? Get dressed, you know. And I know why. They used to just sit in the pajamas. So to all you lovely ladies out there, forgive me for saying, what the fuck are you doing? Get dressed. Myra says, I'm Phil. Myra, what's the temp over there? Between 29 and 34. Richard Dawkins, yeah, you can be called a racist just for something innocent. It's anything. It's like what's going on over there. If you call out Israel, for example, you could be called anti-Semitic. Say they're the labels that you get. It's shocking. You know, look, I've always supported, say, for example, you know, the ordinary American, and I'm talking about the indigenous American, the people who are still living on reservations today. Watch a film called Wind River. Please watch a film called Wind River with Jeremy Renner. Please watch it. Wind River. Give you some idea of what I'm talking about and the indigenous people. It's a modern day film, you know, it's a true story as well, by the way. Fabulous. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, fabulous film. It's Blair's fault. He opened the floodgates. Myra, I know you were hot stuff. Myra, wow, that's toasty. It's cool, breezy, 8 to 10 degrees here. It's going to get colder, by the way. So don't be posing and everything else, Anfield. It's going to get cold. Believe it or not. I refuse to use the self-service because I worked 51 years in retail and I am not taking so. Brilliant. Thank you, Richard. Great that. Love that. Love that. And the outfielder, Redbird Bosch, straight in with that one. But that's a cracker, Richard Hawkins. And Trigger says, I'm sorry, I'm going to go right down. I'm going to answer, not answer them, but I'm going to go right through the comments. Is that okay without me prattling on about nothing? White British English speakers are becoming the minority in this country, says something when the most popular boy's name is Mohammed. What the? I heard someone saying that the other day, I do know about Mohammed, but what it was, Trigger, he tried to define it like this. Do you ever remember that dynasty? And all of a sudden, after a few years, you had the likes of Crystal, come here, will you? Will you come here, behave yourself, or give you a slap? Do you ever remember that, Crystal? Do you ever remember when, what was his name? Oh, what was his name? Jason. Remember the fella called Jason King? And people were getting called Jason after Jason King because they're coming out with all these wonderful names. Like Crystal, like Jason, like Dominique, and all this, So, and this is what this fella said. He said, they like, the way the English now, they like different names and they're naming their little boys. I said, fucking woke. It's woke. They fucking woke you up. Fucking hell. I'm feeling, I love the way Frankie is in Mulder from X-Files office. Knows how Scully is fixing his cocoa for pets. I wish. There's your line of, you want to see our kids? Captain Sal. Even in Frank, even in Capt. It's not football, mate. It's all about UFOs there. Do you know what? I've got that fella on next week. Jason Glee. The UFO man. Yeah, I'll come on next week. I said, okay. I'm feeling. I seriously consider moving to Mullov. Look pretty empty when our folders there. I'll see if it's Ramjet. If it's Ramjet is still there. Yeah, he's still got that land, hasn't he? He's still got that. Tenement Square. That's where that lad was, wasn't it? He went like that. They ran over him, Did you know that? They actually ran over him. That's not show. Oh, get show now, like, you know what I mean? And dirty Chinese. What's China ever done to me? Please. What's China ever done to you? It's brilliant techno. Have you seen what they do? Technical wise, technology, incredible. They've got this unbelievable car, big black thing, and you just see it coming down, and it stops. The back opens, and this thing just slides out, and it's a fucking drone. And you sit in the drone, 2 people, and go up, fly around for 40 minutes. They said that we're going to have flying machines. Like the way you see in the science fiction films. Incredible. America, USA want to protect the borders of Ukraine, but USA cannot protect their own southern. Well, that's what the other fellas said, hasn't he? Trump. He said it. He said it. Honestly, he said, I'm going to protect the borders now. He's throwing out all these people as well. He's promised that. He signs all these things. But what I'm not interested in that, Myra. He's not once said that about the homeless. He's not that I'm talking about the American homeless. He's not once said either. All he's fucking going on about is Ukraine because the Western press keep punching him, pressing him. Yeah, what do you think of Ukraine? So what they're trying to do, I was listening to a few lads, and they think what I thought as well. They're trying to make this into Trump's war, not Biden. Biden, he should have just turned around and said, this has got fuck all to do with me. This is Biden's lot. This is Joe Biden and Blinken and Jake Sullivan. It's their war, not my war. That's what he should have said. I don't want you to ask me about stupid questions about Zelensky and Ukraine. It's got nothing to do with me or the Americans, to be honest. That's what he should have said. They wouldn't have asked him again. That's what he should have said. Yeah, Sadiq. Yeah, yeah. Sorry for the language, Floyd. Yeah, it's funny how he's got a funny surname, isn't it? But I understand. Sadiq. Richard says the Democratic. Oh, look, they're all letting on to Captain Sal. FSG out. Hashtag FSG. Join us tomorrow, Captain Sal. Join us. You should have joined us the other night. So funny. It was so funny about FSG and the football show and talking about. I've got one tomorrow if you're still with us. I've got one tomorrow that's right after the match, more or less after the match. 3 o'clock kickoff, finish it. Oh, it's 5:30. 5:30 tomorrow night if you're not going out. That is. Or you're not in a pub. The Democratic Party is not old Democrat. No. The last great Democratic president was Kennedy himself. And the Amphitheatre says Obama has apparently downed a coffee shop with Rachel from Friends. Michelle has gone ape, apparently, because she thought it was Whoopi Goldberg. No, she's denied it, Jennifer Aniston, hasn't she? And Obama, don't like him. He's a war hawk. As I said, he had Gaddafi killed. It was him and Cameron. A good man. He was a good man to the contrary of what other people. And look, it's a defunct state now, Libya. It's shocking what they fucking done, those Americans, to those poor people. Considerable. How can you have a fellow with a $10 million thing on his head, bounty on his head, and then all of a sudden make him leader of Syria? What's that about? That's so. They won't touch the Americans because the Americans are still stealing the oil and wheat out of Syria. They have been for years. America has done a lot of damage to the world, to the world. Ant Middleton for London Mayor. Mr. Middleton, eh? Is that Kate's dad or someone? But this country is now owned by backward cult, sad, but it's going to be owned by BlackRock because Starmer invited them in. Don't forget they own our oil and gas. Do you know that, don't you? You remember when Thatcher sold it in the 80s to Texaco, the oil fields? And she said, I want to put Great back into Britain. She fucking murdered it. She murdered the company. Who are these fucking people? Trigger. Yeah, mate. Sort these coolers out. Gaddafi says the captain was a good leader for his people. I know, I worked in Libya before the West overthrew it because he wanted to rid it of the petrodollar and unite Africa, which the West can't have. Absolutely, he was great to his people. I'd said that said it all along. Even when, you know, when I was still working, you know, lecturing, someone mentioned about Gaddafi. I said, did you read this about that? I said, take no notice of that. It was in the Daily Express. I said, take no notice of that. So instead of teaching about Vespasian, like lecturing about him, went into a big rant about Gaddafi and what the Western press was saying. Always propaganda. I said, take no notice of anything they said. Gaddafi is a good man to his people. And this is even before Saddam Hussein, by the way. Before him as well. Yes, Sam Fields. Richard Hawkins. Okay, Frank and chat, I'm off. See you in the morning for the film show. Richard, yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you, my man. He's gone now. I'll just go straight down now, lads. See you, Frank. See you, Frank. Hawkins film chat with a bit of footy. Yes. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Now tonight I'm watching The Ghost in the Dark. Ooh. Ooh. And coffee. Frankie, are you in some doctor who told us? No, that's the X-Files. It's the X-Files office. I want to believe. Where am I? I want to believe. Someone asked me, they said, do you believe in those things? I said, I seen one. I seen one in France, a huge thing. I said, I seen one. I was out one Christmas with a friend of mine who's the most cynical person ever. Doesn't believe in anything. And he's so cynical. You tell him something, no. You know, so I went, are you kidding me? He said, yeah. You know, things like that. What we seen one Christmas. It was a Christmas Eve. It was crisp. No, it was the day before Christmas. Clear sky. Night. Going home. What we seen was unbelievable. And I'm talking about 5 things in the sky. Unbelievable. Jonathan Carpenter. Hello, how are you doing today? Hello, Jonathan. I'm in Indiana. What about you? I'm in Liverpool. I'm in Liverpool, England. Indiana, eh? Indiana. And Indiana's Jones doesn't come from there, does it? Indy. Trigger. Frank, I live in Bootle. I'm 59. Me and my bird don't get for free. Paid school dinners for both our kids. Paid full whack for trips for them. Dentist prescriptions. Fucking pisses me off. Yes. Same as me. I help my daughter out. You know, I help my daughter out and my granddaughter get anything she wants. Anything. She's 12 now. And the two grandsons. They were older now. So I always try to help because they get nothing. My daughter's a mental health nurse. Fucking works all out for nothing. Well, she gets a wage. Copy column. I just lucky walk. Last go and Frank, you're mucking up the time vortex. Says the Anfield Water, copy column. I just look, what the fucking hell are you talking about? See, you're making me swear. Electors know what you're on about, says the prophet to the road. Right, I'm going to go right down and end this wonderful thing. Copite, says the Anfield. I was meant to say, I just see Lockie from Marvel walk by, shouting at Frank, you're mucking up the time vortex. I don't watch any of that. Honest. Frank, I heard Zelensky did a few turns at the Blackpool Tower on the Wurlitzer. Yeah, playing with his penis. Ian Max. Big up Frank, RLA. At least we got the best football league in the world, if nothing else. And the Redbird says, LA, the best, yes, but still corrupt. Not half. Hope games are cancelled tomorrow as a Reds warning there, Frank. Hope the games are not cancelled. No, we're going to be all right, I believe, honestly. Freezing, Jerry said, I might get myself a pair. Look, cold, they are. They're good. And you for around the floor and that. See, I'm banging my feet now. Can't hear nothing. But I've got that, them wooden floors right through. Fucking good in the winter though. Cold. Where carpet is warm. Copy column. I do hope not. It's only a bit of wind. Says the Elfield Road. A bit of drugs in the reservations nowadays. It's sad for the Navajo tribe. Any tribe. Please, Redbirds, if you haven't seen, or any of you other people, if you haven't seen Winds River, please watch it. Watch it. Get it up on your stream. Colin Blacklaw, seeing these city centres now, it's scary to see how life will be in 20 years. I only said to my daughter today, now you might think that and I said, look, especially after this kid, well, he's not a kid, he's a fucking man now, isn't he, 18? You're a man when you're 16, to be honest, because you can marry and everything else. Get your driving, go and drive. And anyway, I said to Francine, I said, when you're at work, I said, don't make her get a bus. Tell her to come down, because she has to get 2 buses. I said, if you're working, you can't pick her up. I said, all you've got to do is order a taxi, just phone them, tell them make sure that the Scouse lads, and pick her up, bring her right to me. I'll pay the taxi driver. She can spend an hour or so with me, and then I'll get her a cab, pay the cab to bring her home. Because I've done that before, you see, and I said, and when I phoned the taxi firm up, I said, I want a Liverpool lad. My granddaughter's 12. I wanted to bring her home to her mother's. So we said, okay. You know, the operator came, fella, said, all right, mate. He said, that's fine. He said, I said, make sure you get her home. Give him a tip, like, you know, decent one. And he said, don't worry. And I said to Sophie, I said, tell your mother to phone me or your nan. So she said, all right, granddad. As soon as they got in, phone me. Okay. So that's what I said. Say, I'm afraid. A lady, I was sitting outside in the summer, and one of my neighbours, lovely lady, and she just stopped. I was just sitting outside. She stopped talking to me, and she said, I'm not going into town. I have to go into town once a week. She said, Frank, it's not the same. And I'm afraid. I said, what are you afraid of? She said, people, they just stand there and look at you. She said, and I have to go into the bank. I said, what can you say about that? This is an elderly lady, widow. Anyway, for me, honestly, don't care what colour someone is as long as they are not aren't wrong'uns, and Tory support. Yes. Labour are just as bad as the Conservative. Both parties hate us. Yes, says the Red Bird. And carries on by saying, being a few terrorist attacks in the last couple of days in England, I know of 6. An asylum seeker was behind one of them. They ain't bothered because they know our sick leaders will protect them. That's fucking mad, though. Yeah, I watched that. I finally watched that. Sushi on TV, YouTube is a real news source on matters to do with the evil cult. Yeah, that's a cracker. Try and follow Alex Christopher, who comes on every afternoon. And he just goes on a walk talking. He's brilliant. Watch out for Colonel McGregor, Douglas McGregor. Ex-retired colonel, brilliant. Look out for Larry Johnson, ex-CIA. Look out for them. They're always on Judge Napolitano. Judging freedom. Judge Napolitano. Judging freedom. Brilliant. Brilliant. And I watched Redacted, a thing called Redacted as well. And the Red Bird says, Tusi is Iranian. He loves the UK. Maybe he doesn't love America. Obama's real name is Barry Soweto, says the Red Bird. And Michelle's is Michael. Noah, just yesterday, Vax Daddy Trump is teaming with Altec Jacobs and mRNA bioweapons to help us find cancer faster. Poison and death couldn't come fast enough. Take care, guys. Future is dead. I'll end on this. And if anyone fucking thinks that Elon Musk did that, give your fucking heads a wobble, please. I was watching a speech live and he was like this. I've done that. I've done that with 2 fucking arms. You do it every fucking week. Watching Liverpool Football Club. Let me score. Just say that about it. BlackRock are the bad ones for here. Redbird, your wooden cocoa. Copite, the famous Callum. Frank, you really brightened up my day watching you. Had some sad news. Oh, I know. At my age, I just find out that, I can find out that people are dying now. I only found out that, I'm talking about a month or 2 ago now. I asked a friend of mine, he decided to phone him up. I said, how's it going? And he went, it's all right, Frank. I said, how's Ray getting on? It's dead. I said, why doesn't someone fucking tell me, Because I would have struggled to the service. And I came on me pod. And I assume my Liverpool pod, the FC pod. And he said, Frank, I'm going to message you, I've got some bad news. I went, fucking hell. And his dad had died. And he told me when the service was, which was on the 23rd of December, I couldn't fucking make it. And me and him, I mentioned it. I even mentioned on our FC TV when I went to the match, because we were talking about the boys' pen. And anyway, it was the first time me and him sneaked out of the boys' pen and into the Kop, 3/4 time. And we were standing by the barriers. And this fellow went, yeah, do you want to get up? And the two mates, they were just 2 mates, just picked us up and put us on the bar. And this fucking ball came over. Obviously, I just went back. I thought it was going to hit me. I was a kid. I was a little kid. I must have been about 8. Going to match. Me and Peter Bicino. And me wellies with, when you wore wellies and they were tied down, like pulled down to make half of them. And I was swinging under the bar, the crush bar. I'm swinging about the fellow went, all right. I said, oh, fuck that, got to put me down. I'm getting on there again. First time into the Kop from a boy's pen, 3/4 time. And I got, he told me that he died. Got to shoot up early in the morning. Great show, Frank. See you tomorrow. God bless Frank and chat. Isn't that lovely? Thank you, Redbird. Just go right through these. Anfield Roar, Mulligan side. There's no standing stone rumoured to be resting place for the real Paul. No. He's fucked. The real Paul. Oh, fucking hell. So sad for Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas, both having throat cancers. Yeah. I didn't know about Douglas. I didn't like Douglas's dad, Kirk. Fucking horrible in real life. Fucking horrible. Should have been done for paedophilia. Val Kilmer is not married since 96. So lonely. Me too, mate. Me too. Cop I Callum. I do it stretching when done my biceps in the gym. Come on, copper. I've got no biceps anymore. Oh, come on. I'm so sorry, Callum. Oh, mate, I'm so sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. Rest in peace, your dad. So sorry. But I'm mentally strong onwards and upwards after making the most of this lifetime, Frank. You've got to. You have to. Please. You've got to. Okay, Callum. You still, you know what I mean? I still want to call you the greatest copite in the world. Okay? You look after yourself. And if your mum's still alive, look after her. She'll need you more than ever. The real Paul conspiracy is an interesting one. Now, freedom, now, believe me, Paul McCartney's Paul McCartney. Say no, that's a nonsense thing. Copy Callum. Sorry to hear that. Says to, the Noah Hard says to Trigger. Big up, Frank. Thanks for the brilliant hit. Thank you. Don't forget, be more of this next week, but next Friday, where am I? Fucking hell, it's settled for get this. You know the coordination, settled. But talking about them. And for people who haven't heard of my experience, I'll tell you about mine. And I'll always be skeptical myself. No longer skeptical. People, thank you for keeping me company tonight. These are all lovely people, by the way. These are smashing. These are all, what I love about this channel, you've got so much respect for each other. Even Noah Hyde. Noah Hyde, everyone has a go at him over Darwin Nunes. Not everyone, others agree. But still said, this is the thing about this channel, about this stream. Lovely Myra. Take care, everyone. Myra, thank you so much. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for staying with us. I love it, honestly. I haven't been going on. I've been tuning into what we watch, Myra, but I can't text anything, can't send messages because of this. Any pressure, the pain is unbelievable. Knocks me sick. I know I heard. Take care, Frank. Take care, Noah Hayes, yourself. And Noah Hayes is a top guy. Nunes debates is just football. Trigger says, I've seen loads in Bootle, mate. UFO, that is. Or whatever they are called now. Unidentified flying phenomena. We all live in a yellow. Oh, that reminds me of some fella, Jones, about 18 going out. He always used to walk along the land singing. We all live when he's young, going out Saturday night, summer. Our freedom journey's still with us. Cheery up, Frank. Cheery up. Don't forget all you football fans tomorrow. there's a podcast after the game, around 5:30. Also, if you like films and TV, I've got one tomorrow morning, 10:30. So if it's all windy, rainy and everything else, tune in and see what films I've got lined up. Thank you, Freedom. Hope you join us again. And you, Trigger, I hope you join us again. Opinions are opinions. No snowflakes around here, says the copyright. Yes, no snowflakes. My Frank of the Reds, says Christopher. Mille grazie. Mille grazie tutti. Mio amici tutti. Grazie. A domani. Ciao bella. So we get 10:30. Yeah, sure.